Good morning, students. This morning we'll be looking at the analysis of the poem, The Dining Table. Is an example of an African poem. The Dining Table, written by Bonabom Allowell. And precisely we want to see the background of this poem. What has prompted the writer to have written this poem? What was he thinking when he wrote this poem? This poem is centered on war. It explains the fact that in the time of war, nobody is safe. No life is safe. Be it the soldiers, be it those at home, more especially women and children. So no one is safe. The poem is a narrative poem. It's a narrative poem because it tells a story. This is an enactment of what happened many years back in Sierra Leone, Freetown, where the citizens of Sierra Leone at the time, because of diamond, the discovery of diamond, life became so worse and bad, and people had to start resisting the government because life became quite difficult. So this poem is the war between the rebels and the government of Freetown, Sierra Leone. So the poem is a free verse. By free verse we mean that it does not have regular rhyme. No regular rhyme. And that's why we call it a free verse poem. The expressions in the poem are recollected from the events of war, like I said earlier, from Sierra Leone. And so everything you'll be seeing in this poem from beginning to the end is all about war, 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 and the fact that no one is safe during war. So let's begin with stanza 1 of the poem. The poem opens up with the phrase, dinner tonight. Dinner tonight. Unlike the normal dinner that we'll have, usually from the hours of 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., this dinner is war. War between the rebels and the government forces. So unfortunately here, the poetic persona is not referring to the kind of merriment that we are going to have during dinner. During the usual dinner we have at night. So the Sierra Leonean war was so intense that morning, afternoon, night, nobody is at peace. Tension everywhere. So since it was very terrible, it was a very terrible time for them. He calls when it happened tonight, which means dark time. So the war that must take place every night is referred to as what? Dinner. What an irony. He points out that what they expect from the dinner is gun wounds and injured body filled with blood with heavy pain. So this kind of dinner is not going to come with merriment, it's not going to come with satisfaction, it's not going to come with enjoyment from food, but it's going to come with what? Problems, tension, fear, and the aftermath of this dinner is going to be war, people dying, lives shattered, women and children battered. That is going to be the aftermath of this war. So let's look at the synopsis of this poem. Let's see, what is the poem really talking about? The meal lies on their drenched body, causing great pains. Then people who came to see the events of the war gazed on the effects of the war and also felt the guns too. Look into oceans of bones as vegetable dies on their tongues. Now, what the poem is trying to explain is the fact that the kind of war that is experienced here is the war where gun is involved. So when you see people, apart from the fact that people mostly suffer as a result of famine or drought because there will not be food, There will not be water. What about the injuries people inflict on themselves as a result of going to fight war or as a result of being victims of war? Women and children are not let out of this as well. So, in stanza 2 of the poem, the poet began by saying, the table that gathers us. Remember in stanza 1, it was said that we are going to have dinner tonight. So dinner tonight, which means the war for tonight, is going to be a unique one. Though there had been series of war, but the writer knows that tonight, the war tonight is going to be quite different. Why will it be different from every other war? Because same war had continued for over 7-11 years. Now we said dinner tonight is going to be quite different from every other. So he goes further to say that the table that gathers us is an island. You see the funniest thing. So that's the setting for this war, is an island where nobody goes out and nobody comes in. So people stay there all their life to fight. The poetic persona attempts to inform us that the dining is actually an island, that is Sierra Leone. Of course, we know that Sierra Leone is a country, is a nation that is said to be an island. It's an island because it's surrounded by water. So, gorillas and crocodiles refer to the fighting oppositions who, according to the poetic persona, select children from tender age. So, the table that gather the fighters is a table that accommodates the government fighters, who are referred to as the gorillas, the crocodiles, who are symbolically represented as the politicians, the children from Alpha Beta, small children from primary schools and what have you, and the rebels, government rebels. So these are the set of people that are going to assemble on the table tonight to fight this war we are talking about. And these kids watch as people are slaughtered in their presence. So you see, child soldiering becomes something that it has become a necessity. Why? If children are pulled out of school to be part of this war, what do you expect? Automatically, they've become killing machines. So, suffering children from Alpha Beta with empty palms, dying with us, switchblade in their eyes. So these children are meant to grow with anger. They are meant to grow with bitterness. They are meant to grow with pains. Why? Because they are reared outside home, trained outside home by these so-called rebels. They need to be taught how to carry guns. They need to be taught how to butcher people. They need to be taught how to rape women. So, in the time of war, nobody is safe. So, we are also told the children have no option but to be silent and take what the day brings. Of course, they are under the tutelage of these so-called leaders who all what they want is to see how they can raise these children to fight their war. So since the war has denied them the childhood privileges of playing with toys, let them play with guns then. So from the poem you will see that even the street is empty of toys. The street is empty, you don't see children playing. Why would they play? Because they did not play because there is war. And they are playing a major role in that war alongside with the rebels. They need to fight in that war. So that is why children are also great culprits in the time of war. The ending of this stanza shows that there is no longer any kind of merriment in the land, for even the dying suffer cholera. So many diseases are let loose. There is no water to drink. There is no food to drink. In fact, more deaths come as a result of the water people drink. So you can see that in the time of war, there is much to desire. Silence in their voices when the playground is empty of children's toys. Who needs roadblock when the hour to drink from the cup of life ticks. So we're told that cholera breaks because the water is not good. All you see around is dead bodies all around, dead bodies that have not been picked for over 3-4 years, because this war lasted for over 7 years. And you can imagine. So when you have dead bodies all around and they decay, what do you think will be the aftermath consequence of drinking from water that comes from this dead body? So, and that is why you have an outburst of diseases everywhere. Stanza 3 of the poem. In this stanza, the poet Persona affirms his stand on the war. He takes to be a revolutionary, which means he will fight alongside those who fight to change the status quo. For him, he believes that the people who are resisting the government over what is good are taking the right stand. So for him, he desires to also take a right stand with these people. As far as is concerned, as far as the poet is concerned, he will do everything possible to promote the right cause. And the right cause is that what? That evil is fought in the land, and that peace returns, that justice returns. Although he is tired of the injuries and destructions that the war brings. So even his boots can no longer help him. What it entails is that these men have been fighting war for many years. So what time do you even have to relax? What time do you have to, have merriment? So you have a soldier who is putting on his boot for quite a number of weeks. So the man is also trying to make you understand that the motivation he needs to resist and to bring justice to the land is no longer available, because not everybody is available to also join him in promoting justice. So he uses the flow of River Nile as a preamble to his retirement from the Gone Wounds dinner. Of course, the allusion to River Nile is a historical allusion. A biblical allusion, where you see back then in the story of Moses and the children of Israel, we were told that the River Nile became blood because Moses had to cast his rod on it. River Nile became blood. So the River Nile that would have become a motivating factor. River is a symbol of love. Nile that would have become a motivating factor for him to fight for justice. Nile has also become what? A negative thing. So instead of drinking from the river of peace, river of love, people are now drinking from the river of what? Bitterness, river of vengeance, river of vendetta, and what have you. So what is the analysis of stanza 3? Now let us see the promises made by the poets. So for him, he has promised to be a revolutionary, even though Nile will not want him to. Nile, which symbolizes what? The symbol, I told you that river is a symbol of love. Nile here is a symbol of what? Rancor, acrimony, bitterness. Because the reference to River Nile is a reference to the fact that in Egypt, River Nile became a pool of blood. So a pool of blood will not be an encouragement for us. Nobody wants to drink from the pool of blood. So Nile has become a discouragement to him instead of an encouragement, because he is not drinking love and peace. Rather, he's drinking what? Vengeance, vendetta, and acrimony from Nile. So his night has become so reserved for lovers of fire. What an irony. Lovers of fire. Now what does it mean here? Not just sitting by the fireside to take the warmth of the fire. Lovers of fire now means here lovers of war. People who must go to war. People who every night they found themselves not celebrating the warmth that staying by the fireside gives, but being part of the sorrow that enemies attacking during the night bring on them, the fear and the uneasiness. So the man, having seen all this, the poet has become reluctant. He has become reluctant. While he tries to promote change, he's not seeing change coming. And that is why he has said that he has wished to be a revolutionary. But as it is, there is nothing he can do. So if you read down the analysis of chapter 3, you will also discover that his first and second line of the poem stanza, from the the second line and third stanza, under the split milk of the spoon, the use of night elements in the poem is to portray darkness. So every diction, word used in this particular text depicts tension, depicts war, depicts uneasiness, depicts sorrow. So every time the poet sees himself appearing in every stanza, what he's trying to showcase is the fact that war and tension has surfaced their ugly faces everywhere that you see. So metaphorically referring to the rays of the moon as a spilt milk, he affirms that under any glimpse of light in the war, he will remain a revolutionary. For as long as truth is not ready to come out, for as long as the justice they are looking for is not surfacing, the poet says that he still remains a revolutionary. He will be part of this war. He's ready to fight this war until justice and retribution surfaces. Then he says that even the river Nile, without suffering anything, gets tired of flowing as a river. Of course, I have told you the allusion to river Nile, what it symbolizes here. That is to say, he is not leaving the dinner of gun wounds for the lovers of fire because he is afraid, but because he is tired of humanity and destructions he bears. So right now, the poet has taken a different turn. He has come to a point where he is tired of this war. Something that began like a child's play, that probably he thought will just last for a couple of months, days, and justice will come. But it's taking over 7 years, and justice is nowhere to be found. And the war is not coming to an end. So the poet is saying that he wouldn't want to be part of this gathering by the fire at night. He's tired. What does war give? War only gives us pain. War only gives us, war is give and take, like the grave. What you see is just rottenness. That is what war brings at the end. Now, there is this popular movie titled Beast of No Nation. Beast of No Nation. Try and see that film. You see that in the time of war, even the children, of course, there is so much to fear. The children are no longer innocent as you think they should be. Because in the time of war, they are also the tools that these perpetrators of the war will need. So they recruit them, and overnight they end up becoming dangerous people who will rape, who will kill, who will do anything, even what the adults may not do. So the poet is telling us that he's tired and he wants to back out, because this war that he thought would have ended in the shortest time is taking so many years and it's not ending. So indirectly it tells us never to continue a disastrous battle even when we are winning and still have the strength to conquer. The harm war brings is more than the pride that comes with winning it. So I take us back. This poem, written by Bonabom Hallowell, tries to emphasize the fact that in the time of war, all suffers. In the time of war, no one is safe. Women, children especially. Even the men who find themselves in the battlefield, no one is safe. So nobody should clamor for war. Nobody should desire war. Let us promote everything that is peace. Let us promote everything that is tolerance in order to avoid war. So for you to understand this poem, you must understand the civil war that took place in Sierra Leone, and then you will see what it is. So this war is not far-fetched from the kind of war that was fought in Nigeria, the civil war in Nigeria from 1967 to 1970, a war that lasted for 3 years. when the Republic of Biafra was declared, we saw or we read all the nasty things that happened. How much more a war that had lasted for more than 7 years? It's really nasty and really bad. So Bonabom Hallowell is trying to call us, is a clarion call for us not to encourage war, but to resist and fight war. Having said this, we've come to the end of our lessons today. So the next time we meet, we will be talking about some of the themes and literary devices as used in this poem. Thanks for listening. God bless you.